Hello everyone, Dean the Autist here, and welcome back. So basically, I had to do something for work earlier, and I couldn't record as much as I want to today. So, with me getting back into work in the next month, uploads are gonna slow down in August. So let's just continue. So yeah. A couple days later, Shizune heads off to go eat lunch by herself, and doesn't come back. She must really be swamped with student council work, although I know that she probably made most of that work for herself. When I get back to the student council room, I find the door unlocked. Before opening it, I hold back for a second to see if I hear Misha's laughing through it. Nothing. I'd almost take that as a sign that no one's in, but Shizune wouldn't leave the door unlocked in that case. She's at her desk, sleeping in her chair with her arms folded over her chest. What a stiff pose. If it weren't for her eyes being closed, there would be no way to tell that she was asleep. In fact, I can't even be sure that she is asleep now. Normally, I'd tap a desk to wake anyone else up, but it wouldn't work with her. I immediately start thinking of tricks I could play on her if she's sleeping. It's disappointing that my train of thought goes in those kinds of directions. Hello, good afternoon. She signs one greeting with each hand. It's really confusing. Hey, what are you doing? Secretly slacking off? Shizune smiles but lowers her head to conceal it, and tries her best to look annoyed instead. Don't just stand there, it makes me nervous. If I'm sitting down and you're not. I take a seat in the nearest chair while Shizune pauses to adjust her glasses on the bridge of her nose, like she's fine-tuning an instrument. Why are you so far away? Does that make you nervous too? Pursing her lips, Shizune doesn't look too amused by my taunting her. I had some free time, so I thought I would drop by and see if you're still busy. Do you want to help me? Yeah. Too bad. I'm grateful, but it's not necessary. I just finished the last of it, and now everything that needed to be done is done. So formal. Misha was just as businesslike yesterday. Are you two getting serious for official student council business? I'm always serious, like the student council candidates should be. That was fast. From zero to immediately criticizing people who aren't even our colleagues yet, before I've had the chance to stretch my legs. At least the presidents, they need initiative. Then maybe they can motivate everyone else, or at least strong arm them along. But even though there's a bunch of them, they're also wishy-washy. There's no one running for vice president, so they all want the big prize, but none of them have the right drive for it. And then the treasurers are always so flaky, I decided to use my power to just eliminate the position. Wait a sec, please. Can you even do that? I don't think it works that way. That's how it is. Student councils should invest in a Department of Defense, or I guess Department of War, or whatever. But student councils should invest in a Department of Defense, so that if they are challenged by other high schools, for example, they could just open fire. Okay, I'm done. Anyway, with that, Shizune stares grimly into the distance, rubbing the frame of her glasses that doesn't answer the question. Future dictator. I'm disappointed. They should want me out of here faster because they want the job, or at least disagree with me having the job. If I can't mobilize a bunch of student council wannabes for either reason, all my work here would have been for nothing! If they're going to be so slow about it, I'll just hold on to my office as long as possible. Shizune punctuates the sentence with a snap of her fingers, creating a sound as sharp as a gunshot. I wonder if she knows how loud she can do that. It's definitely an attention grabber, so I can only see it as invaluable to a mute. She might have practiced it because of that. All of it, huh? That's too harsh. I always thought this was a real test. Leaving a lasting impression is important. It's why I don't build sandcastles. They crumble when you leave. Maybe. But if I see an especially neat one, I still think it's impressive. I'll say it's impressive. I kind of admire you, so to me it wasn't for nothing. She tugs at her glasses, as if she wants to take them off, smiling wryly. Sorry. I was careless and something selfish slipped out. I've always wanted to stand at the top. It didn't matter what it was, as long as I was the best at it and understood it completely and made it my own. Like when you hear a song and dream of being a musician, or see a plane and wish you could be a pilot. Have you ever had a dream like that? Yeah. The first time I played soccer, I wondered if maybe I could ever get good enough to wow people. That was just a fantasy though. As soon as I saw the gap between me and people with real talent, I put those dreams behind me. Well, with my heart the way it is, I can't play soccer anymore anyway. Do you still have dreams like that? No, they're unrealistic. I realized it very quickly. There's always someone better. A nostalgic impression crosses her face. She looks oddly mature right now, as if the days of competing vigorously against others for supremacy are long behind her. Of course, I know that nothing could be further from the truth. Last week, she wanted to see which one of us could blow the biggest bubble with a piece of gum. It could be that she was even worse than when she was younger, a terrifying thought. I liked that. There was always someone better. When someone greater than me would appear, I'd get so excited and I want to challenge them. Even though in the end, they would usually turn out to be better, and I would be left in awe. There are some people who are on a different level completely. After a while, I got jealous. I wanted something like that for myself. Is that what the student council is? The thing just for you? No, even though it feels like that sometimes. That's why I decided to do it. That wasn't why I decided to do it. That's another story entirely. But I like being student council president. Even if the work is hard, I'm always biting off more than I can chew. That is what keeps it exciting. People at the top shouldn't be able to be comfortable all the time anyway. You sound like a farmer. Although they wouldn't suit her, Shoujo would look cute in overalls and a straw hat. So if that wasn't the reason, why'd you run for the job? I didn't, but afterwards I decided to stick with it anyway. I wanted to be the student council president because the old student council was stupid. And they want to stir people up so that they can be able to say, that was interesting, today was interesting, that kind of thing, memorable experiences. I'm happy because I think we succeeded, you, Misha, and me. I have a selfish desire too, though. At first, it was something I thought would only be a nice bonus, but I've gotten greedy. That is, why it would make me happy if the elections go smoothly. It would be the only way that I could see my wish granted. What is it then? It's a secret. Sensing that I might not be ready to let such a weak dodge slide by so easily, Shizune quickly waves down any attempt at a follow-up, embarrassment coloring her face. It's something she wants to keep to herself only because it's silly. It's too silly to do so otherwise. I start to feel a pang of hunger and check my watch. It's earlier than it looks, too early for dinner. Do you have any kind of food in your desk? For a second, it looks like the question confuses her, but she recovers quickly. Deska for supplies. Food is supplies. You should have eaten lunch. I didn't think that would be a problem if I didn't. If I was working, I wouldn't have to think about it. I'd be too busy to be hungry. She puts her hand up to her mouth in a poor attempt to conceal a laugh, and tries to hide it further by pretending to use it to push her glasses further up the bridge of her nose. I guess you're not, since you already ate. I'm not good enough to sign the appropriate words, so I settle for pointing at the stack of Chinese food containers leaning precariously out of the top of her trash can. Those are from yesterday? Then we're both hungry. Let's get something to eat. Not from the cafeteria, there wasn't anything good at lunch, so I really doubt there will be anything good left over. Order something? Ordering out 2 days in a row is unnatural, only in case of emergencies. That's my personal policy. This is why she should think of putting some snacks in her desk. It would be an easier way of dealing with these kinds of emergencies. I want to tell her, but signing out how hungry I am like 5 times has made me too tired to be a smartass. The temptation is really great though. Hi. Misha's distinctive up and down voice sounds muffled through the door. She bursts in a second later. Hi, Misha. Hee-chan, you're here too. Two? How did you know there was already someone in here? If it opens, someone is inside. Am I interrupting? Shizune shakes her head. Great, that's really great, but I was sure I would be. Is this a break? I thought so too, but it turns out everything student council related is over for now. Is that why you're here? Yeah, that's right, Hee-chan. Sorry to disappoint you, but we were discussing whether or not to order out for dinner. That sounds fun. Shizune isn't being very fun about it, though. She says that she can't order food 2 days in a row. Are you hungry too? Because if you are, we could outvote her. That sounds fun, Hee-chan, and I am a little hungry. I thought you would say it sounds like mutiny. Shizune pinches the frame of her glasses, clearly thinking that it does seem like a mutiny, but being outvoted by a clean 2-to-1 margin, there is something she can do. Misha already has her phone out. It's awfully garish. Chi-chan, you promised we could have a student council thing just for us, right? Right? This can be it. Shizune only shakes her head. The last party she will be able to attend as Yamaku's student council president is too special to her to put that label on our spur-of-the-moment early dinner. Even though I'm sure the real thing would be just like this, a meal like any other with 3 of us. After we finish eating and cleaning up, I say goodbye to them and head to my dorm. Although I don't feel particularly tired, I think I'll just go straight to sleep tonight. If I were back home, my mom would nag me not to go to bed right after eating, but what she doesn't know won't hurt her. I take a look at the clock as soon as I get in, and realize it's a lot later than I'd thought. It also feels a bit silly checking the clock when I have a phone and a wristwatch. I take off my watch and hold it in one hand, while pointing my phone in the other. It makes me feel powerful and stupid. I try unsuccessfully to go to sleep, and I'm glad when someone interrupts me by knocking on my door after only a few minutes. I figure that it couldn't be anyone but Kenji, which is why I'm surprised when it ends up being Misha. Hi, Hee-chan. You don't look happy to see me. No, I'm just kind of surprised. Did Shizune remember something that she wants me to do after all? It's late, but whatever. I guess it's good that I didn't change. Nope, I just thought I'd follow you back, Hee-chan. For fun? No, of course not. It's because she wants to talk. It must be something important, and something she doesn't want Shizune to know about. Do you want to come in? Yeah, thanks, Hee-chan. She walks in and immediately takes a seat in the chair. The natural thing to do. But I'd expected her to sit on the bed. Hee-chan? Misha frowns harshly, arms folded over her chest. It's like she's trying to play a grim interrogator. All that's missing is the mustache and the dangling, flickering light bulb on a string. Did you make Shi-chan sad? What do you mean? When I went to the office today, Shi-chan couldn't hear me coming, that's why. When I opened the door, I saw a really confusing expression on her face. Shi-chan looked happy and sad. I wanted to know why. Well, it wasn't because of me. I didn't even see it. I think she's depressed that she won't be student council president anymore in a few months. And when I asked Chi-chan about it, she said it was okay. That's meaningless. Shizune would say that, but it's ridiculous to think that she would let it go that easily. I mean, there are times when she'll want to fight me over the last apple or chocolate milk or whatever, and that is stuff that doesn't even matter. Chocolate milk is important. Okay, it is, don't get mad, but not as much as student council is to her. She wouldn't just wave it off so easily. You're right. I thought that this was supposed to be an interrogation, but it appears Misha has already forgotten about that. But I don't want Chi-chan to lie to me to make me feel better. Well, most people don't know how serious Chi-chan is, and I think she's putting on a show. I'm happy that you understand her, Hee-chan. It's obvious, especially with how she talked about it today. Misha leans in closer with interest, resting her head on her palms. Really? What did she say? They're close enough that I don't think much of how she is prying. Why, she joined the student council, sort of. She started, but then decided against some stuff that should just stay classified, and signed it's a secret, so I guess that's why she told me it's a secret. Well, if someone tells me they have a secret, you can sort of call it a secret by itself, Ichan. Just like how, according to you, luck is a skill. It can be. Wahahaha, haven't you heard of stacking cards, Ichan? Be careful, not so loud. Why, Ichan? You're gonna wake up half the people in the building. On top of that, dorms aren't co-ed. Chichan, are you thinking something dirty? Stop being weird. If you are, that's okay, I think. Hearing that makes me realize how easy it's been for me to talk to Misha all this time. That I would be able to go this long without feeling the need to be on guard. This is the first time I have. I feel sad, Hichan. It's funnier. The happier Chichan gets, the more depressed I feel. Even though I should be happy for Chichan, I still am, but I can't talk about my problems with her. Why not? Just like Chichan can talk to her problems about me, it's the same thing, Hichan. If we have that kind of problem, then I'm not sure anymore what I should do. I wonder if I'm a bad friend. Misha gets up and quickly drops herself on the bed, until we're sitting only a few inches apart. Just a couple seconds later, she pushes her head forward and gives me a light kiss. It misses my lips, more due to bad aim on her part than because of me. What are you doing? Although it's just a formality, I'd be stupid to not know what she's getting at. It's just that it seems so unlikely that I'm hoping there will be some way I don't have to deal with it. Now she decides to be shy and giggles, embarrassed. Do you like me, Hee-chan? Yeah. Her head is buried in my chest. It feels like she's talking into my scar. She might be able to feel it brushing against her cheek. I tried too hard to hide it from both of them before. It seems like a dumb thing to have worried about in retrospect. Oh boy. This is what I was dreading for a while. Oh boy. You know what? I'm gonna get this ending first. I did say it right. Okay, yeah, I did. As much as I pretend to protest, I've allowed things to come to this point, even though I knew so far ahead when she actually came out with it that this was just what she was getting at. At the very least, I was okay with this outcome. If I needed any more proof, it's simple. I still haven't turned her away. I could have at any point, and it was wrong of me to not do it sooner. But now, not doing so is something beyond simple carelessness. Misha takes my silence as agreement and squeezes herself against me tightly, as if she's trying to get into my clothes. My arms are enveloped by the softness of her skin and the warmth of her body. I roll over on reflex and end up on top of her. Yep. Something tells me this was a bad idea. The following morning, I wake up thinking that most of my time is going to be spent trying to avoid Shizune and Misha. What happened last evening still makes me feel uneasy. I thought that sleeping on it would help me alleviate that feeling. I feel like an idiot for believing it would be that easy. I think about whether or not Misha might feel the same way. If so, she probably won't show up to school today. I'd consider doing the same. But it would be pretty suspicious, and staying inside all day in fear doesn't appeal to me. It never really has. Like I thought, Misha isn't in class this morning. Shizune is, but today is a busier day than most, so she gives her all concentrating on her classwork, and that means there's little idle time for her to start up a conversation with me. It's strange that I should be running from the thought of having to talk to Shizune after spending so much time trying to just do that. But I can't think of any other way I should feel. I had sex with her best friend. If I feel this way about it, I wonder how Misha must feel. Just as regretful? When she came on to me, she was more depressed than sexy to start with. I can only imagine how much worse it would be now. Thinking about it like that, I want to see her again, but only half-heartedly. The other half of me is still terrified, even though I hate to use that word. It makes me feel ashamed. But I'm sure it's the only way to describe myself right now. It's not a good feeling. I spend the next couple of periods in the library, not in the mood to sit in classes for the rest of the day, but unwilling to walk back to the dorms. While I'm lazily flipping through the pages of an uninteresting historical fiction novel, Shizune drops herself into the chair across from me, pouting. I think it's sort of pointless to come to school and then skip every class. Sorry. At least tell everyone that you're sick. I'm just not feeling it today. Yesterday I was fine though. Tomorrow I'll probably be fine. Taking a sick way in the middle of the week is just too suspicious. That 24-hour flu thing or whatever won't fly. It's not suspicious, it is. I turn back to my book, but Shizune gently pulls it down, in contrast with her expression, which straddles the line between concern and anger. Is something wrong? What? Is something bothering you? Because you're acting a little suspicious today in a different way. If there is, just tell me, or I'll be mad. I'm not good at reading people. What a ridiculous thing to say, after picking up my mood so easily. She's only half kidding, but there is some truth in it. After all, she can't hear tone, and has to rely on reading to communicate with others. It's as if you only ever have conversations with someone through text messages. That has to mess with you in some way. It's probably why she stares so intently at people, in order to gauge their reaction. Or maybe it's why she pushes people so hard to get them to react. I've thought about it before, but it's too hard to say for sure what Shizune's exact motivations are for anything. So I wonder how much of that was a joke. Sometimes it's easy to tell. This time it isn't. Assuming it wasn't a joke, I can't tell her anyway, because it's sign language. There is enough time to collect myself and lie efficiently. Nothing. I've been thinking a lot about the student council's future lately. I believe Misha is doing the same well in her own way. So am I, but she isn't here today. I wish she would have let me know something, because I might need her help later today, and yours too, unless you're busy. I'm not. Thank you. I feel like I'm losing a lot of people close to me lately. I can't think of a good way to respond to that. Something reassuring and confident, telling her not to worry. I'm here for you, I'm not one of those people. Then who is? And it seems so forced. I managed a wave of my hand that seems extremely callous as soon as I do it. You shouldn't feel that way. I might be a little sick, not enough to go through the trouble of making it official. It's just easier for me this way. It's the wrong way. I've heard the hard way and the right way are usually the same thing, so it's not a big stretch to say that the opposite is true. Well, fine. If you say that you are alright, that's good enough for me. Wait. You asked me, so I'm turning it around. Is everything okay with you? Yes. She signs it without a moment's hesitation. After that, Shizune waits to see if I'm going to follow up on it. I don't, and she leaves. I feel like an idiot for not going further, even though I think it's better that I didn't. I've been in the library for quite some time, and decide to go up to the roof for a change of pace. A fresh breeze hits me the second I open the door. This really is my favorite area of the school, I think. Then I see that I'm not the only one here. I can see a girl with bubblegum pink hair in front of me. Her back is to me, but I don't have to see her face to know who it is. I'm sure Misha is the only person in the world with hair like that. I get the feeling that I've stumbled on her at a bad moment. She obviously wants to be alone, and I wonder if she hasn't noticed my presence. If so, I'll leave right now, but she has and turns to face me. Oh, Hee-chan, I thought someone was behind me, but I didn't think it was going to be you. This time, you surprised me. If she's referring to her habit of sneaking up behind me and asking to guess who it is, I've never been surprised by that. I'm surprised too. But this is good. I had something I wanted to talk to you about anyway. Not that. What's going on between you and Shizune? She won't tell me, so I'm asking you. Because you're easier to get an answer out of, since the sign language that gives me the leeway to lie to her gives her a cushion against my questions, so that she can more easily brush them off. When she hesitates, I push her harder. Give me an honest answer, please. It's complicated, Hee-chan. It's because of something that happened a long time ago. I thought I could just forget about it, but it's really hard. So that graduation coming up made me want to spend more time with Chi-chan. But Chi-chan's always busy now, so we've been fighting, but I'm tired of it now. Because I like Chi-chan. So do I. No, I know you like her, Hee-chan. I mean, I like Chi-chan in the same way. I want her to be my girlfriend. Misha closes her eyes, like a condemned criminal confessing the last part of her sins in front of the executioner. It only makes it harder for me to think of a response, and I know I have to give one. I see. I never knew. I didn't really want to come to the school, Hee-chan, but it sounded interesting, and even if everyone hated me, at least it felt like they could leave me alone. I was learning sign language, but wasn't very good at it. Chi-chan was trying to get people to join student council because it was only her and Lily. Then she came up to me. I couldn't understand her at all. But Chi-chan wouldn't use her pen and paper. She knew that I was taking sign language classes. I was exposed quickly. I didn't know any. That only made her try harder. And I hated Chi-chan and thought she was making fun of me. That wasn't the reason, though. So I slowly fell in love with Chi-chan. And I told her that I loved her. It was in the student council room, you know, when it was just the two of us. I had these fantasies of Chi-chan staying alone in the office, trying to put everything together by herself. It seemed so lonely to me and so sad. I think I wanted it to be that way. That way I could be there for Chi-chan and maybe Chi-chan would like me, even though there was no reason for me to believe it. I did anyway. I wanted it to be true. So I was okay with letting myself believe it, even though I think I knew. That day was really, really beautiful too, Hee-chan. We were done with everything and I was looking out through the window. Even though the light was so warm, I wanted to stay like that forever, next to Chi-chan. But then I looked at Chi-chan. She had her back to the window and was still working on something, blocking out the rest of the world. The light was on her shoulders, like I would put a blanket on my shoulders as a little kid. Misha stops for a second, as if trying to hold on to the image of Shizune in her head. Shizune looked, it was like Shizune looked in a way that made me want to be with her. But I felt it would be hard for it to happen. That was a really long time ago. My hair was different back then too, a little messy. I cut it because Chi-chan was always talking about it. Anyway, I told her right then and there, I confessed. I was rejected. So, I thought that was it, Chi-chan, but Chi-chan was always trying to find me, and I hated Chi-chan for it. And when I asked her why she was doing it, it was because I was a friend. Her cheeks have a hint of red in them. I wonder how much experience she has had with crying, that she can't keep herself from doing it so well. If she didn't pause to wipe her eyes, I might have never noticed. Having Chi-chan say that made me happy, but also sad. And even though she never meant to hurt me, it still hurts even now. Chi-chan has a way of manipulating people, Hee-chan. Sometimes she wants to, and sometimes she doesn't really, but it happens anyway. Sometimes I'm not sure exactly which one it is, and I feel doubt. I just wish that Chi-chan liked me instead of you. It made me wonder if I was starting to hate you and Chi-chan, just a little. I didn't like that. So you were thinking maybe it would be better if I weren't here at all? She looked confused. The thought has never crossed her mind. That's not Hee-chan. I thought about it these last few days, and I don't want to hate anyone. You or Chi-chan. It's so stupid that I ever felt like that, isn't it, Hee-chan? I don't want to think about that kind of stuff ever again. And missing people and being apart from them, I'm tired of it. And don't want to think about it anymore. I already did, though, so I'm really kind of the worst I'm really the worst kind of person. I wasn't thinking that it would be better if Hee-chan had never come to school. I was thinking about, wouldn't it be better if I just died? After all, I've even done something really terrible now. Truly, unforgivably terrible. Misha presses herself harder against the fence at her back, as if hoping to slip right through it. Don't be stupid. I'm surprised by the tone of my voice. Sorry. I realized I hate it when I'm left feeling regretful over anything. Even so, it's impossible for me to not end up regretting something. Yesterday I did a stupid thing. It's probably part of the reason why I'm here right now, so I can figure out if I can maybe make it right somehow. Do you ever feel that way? You said you've done some terrible things. You can try fixing them. Hee-chan, isn't that... I know what she's thinking. I know that she's thinking that I'm saying this more for me than for her. No, it's not. I just think that killing yourself is the biggest regret a person could end up with. Hee-chan, you're so dramatic. Whether she was serious, I'll never know. I don't try to find out, as she lets out a sigh and closes her eyes as if going to sleep. I feel that the dangerous mood I was picking up from her has passed. The door behind us opens, the sound barely able to be heard over the ambient breeze. I've been looking everywhere for you two. Is this some secret meeting? She walks over to us, leaning against the fence next to Misha, as if she needs to stop and catch her breath, before pushing herself off it and continuing. I'm bored sitting in the student council room every day now without either of you ever coming by. Taking some time off is fine, but this is too much. Normally Misha and I would be jokingly making excuses for ourselves at this point. This time there's only silence. Shizune, always expecting resistance, is thrown off balance by the lack of it. A few seconds pass in an uneasy silence, which Shizune breaks with an ear-shattering snap of her fingers, smiling as if to say, Eureka. Let's go do something together. Like what? Anything. We should go to the student council room first, and then figure it out from there. That seems like a trick to get us to do work instead. Very funny. It's not a trick, I promise. It'll be something fun. Misha contracts a genial smile on Shizune's face with a lonely expression of her own. If Misha is really jealous of me for stealing Shizune away from her, then I think it'd only make it worse if all three of us were together. I imagine it'd be like rubbing salt in an open wound. So I get the idea to let them spend time together. I'm not so idealistic that I think of a single afternoon to themselves will solve everything, but it might help. It seems like the better option than going with them, because my presence definitely wouldn't help at all. You two can go have fun then. I'm going to go to bed early. Are you sure? It's barely past lunch. I told you, I don't feel too good to get good today. I think I'm coming down with something. I thought you said that excuses like that won't work. She has me there. It's okay, but refusing someone's invitation is rude. I'll expect you to make it up to me. Shizune turns around and smiles at Misha, and starts signing something that I can't see. I assume it's along the lines, it looks like it's just going to be the two of us. That's good. Act 4. To my other self. Damn. Hold on, I'm gonna check something real quick, because... I know we're on, like, the bad end routes, just... Huh. Okay, then. Alright. Only a day later, the weekend has already arrived. I drop a heavy stack of books on the librarian's desk, not meaning to slam them, but they weigh so much that it happens anyway. Yuko bolts out of her chair with enough force to dislodge her glasses. She barely holds onto them. Oh, hi. Sorry, I'm here to return all those books I was supposed to. That's great, but I wish you had brought them back sooner. It wouldn't be a problem if the library had more copies of everything, but it doesn't, and they act like it's my fault. They? Other students, they can be, pretty pushy. Sorry, just kind of slipped my mind. It's been pretty rough a couple of days. Oh, I suppose you don't want to talk about it? Yuko meekly turns to the task of logging all the books I brought back as returned, treating them with extreme care and precision. She's like a bomb disposal technician rather than a librarian. Over the past couple of days, I've been thinking about something Misha said. Of course, I thought about everything she said, but one thing in particular keeps coming back. She talked about how she didn't want to miss people or think about being apart from them anymore. When I recalled those words, it stopped me cold, like a sharp slap across the cheek. In just a few months, we'll be graduating. Misha and Shizune were nearly inseparable, but after graduation, they might never see each other again. I wonder if that thought is what started all of this. If Misha were to try and talk to Shizune about it, Shizune likely wouldn't think about it at all. It would sadden her for that, and for that reason, she would try and toss it away. For someone like Shizune, who is so quick to suppress her worries, it would be easy. Misha turned out to be more sensitive than she seemed. It would have crushed her even more so, because Shizune's reaction could come off as pretty cold. I don't know that if it's how Shizune handled it, but it seems likely. I can understand why she would act that way. I can also understand why Misha would be troubled by the thought of drifting away from someone who is such an important part of her. I never thought about graduation until that moment. Then I began to think things like, has it only been less than a year? I started thinking of everyone I've met. Not only Shizune and Misha, but everyone else. They were fond thoughts. Then I thought of losing them. Suddenly I could understand Misha's anxieties. It could be nice to talk to someone about it. Actually, I kind of want to. With whom? I could sense an obvious tinge of apprehensive in her voice. With you. Really? Are you sure? Why me? Because you're an adult. That's it? That's... Wincing, she fidgets a little in her seat, trying to get comfortable in a pretty uncomfortable looking way. I guess this means she's okay with it. Is it hard, being an adult? Yes. I don't think I'm that old, though. It's surprising that students now, like Shizune and you, wear stuff like perfumes or cologne. I never did. I still don't use them. Yeah, it's like something about the generations trying to act older than they are. There was like... It's not already been a year, but there was... I saw like a YouTube video from like, this white woman. She was like, why are all of these white girls going to Sephora? She was like an English woman. But anyways, why are all these white girls going to Sephora? What is this? So like, it was like, damn, where are these parents? Where are they? So, yeah. By the way, you're not wearing any of your grape cologne today. Yeah, it wasn't working out for me. Oh, that's good. I thought the same thing. Sorry. Yuko looks genuinely sorry, and I feel a pang of guilt. I smile despite myself. A tiny lie like that can come back to bite me in the butt. For Misha, trying to conceal how she felt in order to put on a happy face for Shizune for so long must have been crushing. Someone I know brought up that we're going to be graduating. I realize that I've never thought about it before. I feel stupid that I could go so long and never think about these things. I met a lot of great people, and I've never thought about what's it going to be like to graduate and maybe never see them again. There are still ways you can keep in touch. Yeah, I guess. I feel childish. I know everyone's going through the same thing, probably. I bet you hear this kind of problem a lot. No, I haven't been working here that long. I worried about the same thing when I graduated from high school. I didn't go to school here, though. I also miss my friends, and I wish I had kept in touch with them better. Or should have tried harder. Yuko isn't really helping me feel better, and she clams up quickly when she sees it on my face. I don't want to look back and have those same regrets. I wonder if Shizune even thinks about that kind of stuff. Because she goes on sometimes about how she doesn't want to live with any regrets. That sounds impossible to me. I nod, only halfway wanting to agree. Even so, I think that's kind of admirable too. Kind of brave, don't you think so? Brave is a new way to put it. Yuko shakes her head incessantly. It's true, though. And also kind of intimidating. Geez, you shouldn't be intimidated by high schoolers. Look, I'm in my early 20s, and even I am still intimidated by some high schoolers. It's like... Anyway. It's like, bro, what are you doing? You're almost an adult. What are you doing? Anyways, I'll try. She turns away to start folding a sticky note over and over. Pretty idle behavior for a university student, but more importantly, I wonder if I said the wrong thing to her. Being around Shizune for so long, I can't stop reading as much as I can into every moment of silence. If Yuko were the type of person who didn't get intimidated by high schoolers, probably wouldn't be so easy to talk to her. It's all too easy to want to shed some negative quality of yours. When I think of someone I know, it's those qualities I like the best. I don't think I really regret it. I thought as long as I could remember the good times, that was enough. I don't know, sorry. I noticed that a couple students are starting to trickle into the library, and decide that my time is up. No, that was helpful. I feel like the two of my friends are fighting because one of them is taking the fact that we might not see each other again after we graduate really hard, and the other is probably being stoic about it, which only makes it worse. Yeah, like, here's the thing. I realize that I've never had a deep friendship, as in, like, I can't imagine life without you, bro. I've never had that type of friendship. And I know it exists, because several people have written about it, and, you know, like, it's a common experience, it's just I've never experienced it. It's like romance. I've never experienced that either in IRL. So, I know it's an experience that people have, that actually does happen to people. It just never happened to me. So, you know, I didn't really think that hard about, you know, just never seeing a bunch of people again after high school. Like, after I graduated. Because that's sort of what happened. I just never saw a bunch of people again. Yeah, sure, there's social media, and there's, like, all this other stuff to keep in touch, but, like, I mean, like, I never really was one to use social media, so, I mean, just kind of just let myself drift away from everyone else, so. And again, I didn't have too much of a bond with them anyways. Kind of just, like, we only really hung out because they were there. Not because there was some, you know, deep connection. So, yeah. I'm not too heartbroken about that, so. Anyways. Yeah. This is why I play visual novels as well, because, frankly, I being a autismo, I severely lack the social skills in order to create actual bonds with people, and, in some ways, I do prefer the company of fictional characters. So, yeah. Anyways. I don't know how I'm supposed to handle this kind of situation. It doesn't seem like that kind of problem where I'll have to end up taking a side, but it could turn out that way, and then I have no idea what I'm going to do. You should tell them they shouldn't fight. I know, fighting is bad. It's not Shizune and Misha, by the way. Okay, I wasn't really thinking that, though. How embarrassing. Even though I knew it would be, I feel my cheeks redden, and even so, I still said something so transparent and blatantly a lie. It could be that sometimes that it's the right way. Do you have any books about people who have to make hard decisions? We have a lot of self-help books. It's funny that I can find that surprising, because I wouldn't have only a few months ago. I meant about, not for. There aren't many, right? Yes, not many, I mean. Even though I feel apprehensive about it, I want to talk to Shizune. I don't understand why I feel nervous about it, and it disgusts me a little. It also motivates me to look for her, right then and there. Although I don't have to look very hard. She's in the student council room, as always. Okay, grand strategy. Yeah. Worryingly, Misha isn't with her. When Shizune notices me and looks up from her paperwork, the first thing I ask is where she is. I don't know. There is so much uncertainty in her answer that I can't just let it go like that. She's missing a lot of school. Are you the attendance police? That's really strange coming from the student council president. Shizune hides a laugh behind a cupped hand, and I start to think that I might be worrying for nothing. But when her laughter slowly fades away to a more serious and pensive expression, you're right. Yesterday, I catch the hint of a knowing smile on her face as she sees my poorly hidden panic at the word. Despite her best efforts, she can't help being satisfied and eliciting surprise from everyone else to the very end. Even then, I can see that she has bigger concerns from how quickly her smile vanishes. Before either of you notices me, I saw what you were saying. I'm not stupid. If I hadn't, I could still see through Misha while we were walking back. Even if she hadn't told me everything later, she didn't make a big deal out of it. But anyway, you look at it. It's my fault, isn't it? What did she tell you? Shizune winces at my question, though it's clear she'd been expecting it. She follows it up with a very grand gesture. A lot. Like, that I can be selfish and confusing. I try too hard to bring people around me and then push them away. I don't know what I should do. I thought she was right to mention all of those things, and so I just agreed with her, but that only made things worse. I don't understand. Adjusting her glasses, she looks pretty tired. I hope it isn't because she's been busy avoiding Misha, but I can't help considering the possibility, seeing where this conversation is going. It's true. Even the student council being this small, and us always being swamped with work is my fault. I might have ended up driving a lot of people off and away from the student council acting like that. Shizune wags her finger mischievously, acknowledging that might is an understatement. However, from how wearily she does it, it's obvious the humor is only to put me at ease, and therefore not genuine. Like Lily, for instance. She was the first person to join when I started trying to recruit people again, after everyone else left, because they couldn't stand me, I guess. We managed to put together the last festival and even ran a booth together at the last minute. But I didn't like her because I thought she was selfish, always holding us up in order to tend to one friend of hers or another, and leaving Misha and me alone to sort out things involving the whole school by ourselves. If there were any problem she was going through, she would leave us high and dry while she panicked over it, and wouldn't come back until it was solved. She would focus on it 100% and be too preoccupied to focus on any student council work. That was the worst to me. That she could be so nice and still take so many people for granted. Why even join the student council then? It seems so short-sighted and selfish, don't you think? But it's actually me who's that way. Like Misha said, always trying to pull people close to me and then shutting them out. That's how I've treated her. I guess that makes me a bad friend. And it feels like I did the same thing to you then. So I guess I'm a bad girlfriend. Girlfriend too, even if Misha says you might as well replace her. I'm angry that I screwed things enough to get this out of hand. All I wanted was to... She pauses to look for the right words, tenting her fingers in concentration. Make people happy, I think. Even though that seems like a simple way to put it. She rests her head against her hand. Shizune's bangs fall delicately across her eyes, hidden behind those polished glasses reflecting just the tiniest bit of light. It may be wrong to think so, but right now she seems especially beautiful, like a more complete person. It feels this is my first chance to respond to her outpouring of emotions, replacing Misha as Shizune's interpreter. Misha must be joking. It took all my energy to keep up with her just now, her signing filled with gestures that I've never seen before. Likely their habits picked up from Misha, and developed from years of them being together. I can never replace someone so close to her. I like you because I like you, not because I tricked into it by you. Despite how hard she tried anyway, I continued to stare back into her eyes, as sharp as ever. The first time I saw them, they had seemed a bit intimidating to me, like the eyes of a predator. That hadn't changed, which I find reassuring. I still want to make everyone happy, starting with Misha. Shizune looks a bit annoyed that I would imply she would start with anyone else, and smiles confidently. As though... as though a friend's sadness is a physical opponent that she can just strangle into submission. Of course, obviously, naturally. Taking off her glasses, she leans back in her chair and lets out a sigh. It's the first time I've seen her without them on, but I don't get a good look before she slips them back on. But I'm too tired to start today. First thing tomorrow. Do you want to help? Yeah. And I have other student council work you can help me with while you're at it. Although it turns out there isn't much other work at all. Okay. Current scene off by 1. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this scene. And if the next scene is not the scene that I'm expecting, then I'm going to save the game and then record another episode. So, there's no school today, so I expected to be able to sleep in late. Unfortunately, I'm awakened by someone mercilessly pounding on my door at 8 in the morning. At first, I think it could be Kenji, but when my shouts of annoyance go unanswered, I realize it's Shizune. She immediately backs away from the door when I open it, quickly concealing something behind her back. Kind of ominous. What's that? Is it a surprise? I don't really like surprises. The displeased expression on her face says she wants me to stop being such a wet blanket, but she's too busy fumbling what's behind her back to sign it. It must be frustrating for her because seconds later she swings the object out proudly, and also a little dangerously. Ta-da! A picnic basket. We can have lunch together, the three of us. It's not really a basket. It looks more like a plastic bag. Taking a quick look inside, I can see that most of the food inside is also store-bought, not homemade. Some items still have the price stickers on. There's a very diverse selection here though, even a tiny tin of caviar. I'm slowly becoming more impressed with this lunch. I pick a grape out of there and pop it into my mouth. Don't just take things like that, I spent all night perfecting this final weapon. Shizune places it down on the ground to free up her hands, and immediately starts playfully tapping it between her feet like a soccer ball. Definitely not what you should do anything you're going to call a final weapon. All part of my get Misha to stop being so depressed plan. I stayed up all night working on it. When we tried to order in last time, Misha barely got anything and used it as an excuse to leave early. I wouldn't let her get off so easily this time. The food is already here. She'll just have to sit down and eat with us. It's the perfect bait. Doesn't everything look so irresistible? I tried to make it myself, but I don't know how to make it all look all fancy, so I ended up buying everything. Still looks delicious, shouldn't it? It should be. She's very perky today, juiced up on the thought of cheering Misha up. Although it's odd to see her so happy about it. I know that she's just unsure now as she was yesterday. The only thing that has changed is that by viewing it as another sort of challenge for herself, she can put her worries aside and throw herself into it recklessly. It has worked well enough for Shizune so far. It wouldn't surprise me if it's the only way she knows how to live. It's a little early though. It's already 8 in the morning. That's late. Even Misha gets up at 8 or 9. She goes to bed at 7 p.m. But that isn't important. It's very important. Shizune ignores me, gagging my hands by taking them in hers instead of a proper rebuttal. The way she lingers against me for a moment longer than expected feels really comforting. The point is she's awake right now, walking around somewhere. Let's go find her. She sprints out the door impatiently, and her gusto, as she drags me along looking for Misha. It makes me feel more like I'm following a hunter on a safari than looking for a mutual friend. We don't have to look very hard. Even cropped short, her pink hair stands out. The fact that she's just meandering around the grounds out in the open makes it easier. Now I'm sounding like a safari hunter. Misha! Huh? We were just looking for you. It's a good day for a picnic. You should join us. We even have caviar. Not sturgeon, of course, but really tasty. I am a sturgeon. I am a sturgeon. Okay. Oh, wait. Yeah. Caviar? Surgeon? I am a surgeon. Apparently Misha, finding it annoying to have explained everything at length with only one hand, Shizune gives up quickly. Fish eggs. What? It tastes good. Sorry, Chi-chan, I think I'll pass for today. When Misha starts to walk away, Shizune holds the bag out towards me, needing me to take it so her hands can be free. As soon as it's out of her hands, she darts in front of Misha, cutting her off. I made so much food, though. Sorry, I'm just not hungry right now. When are you going to be hungry, then? Chi-chan, that's impossible to know. You can guess. The tension between them infuriates Shizune, and she's trying to deal with it by trying to tear through it, but that approach isn't going to work. I thought and hoped that Misha had gotten herself together, but I guess she was just cut too deep by what happened. In that case, it's really out of anyone's hands. I believe that Shizune might understand that on some level. If she didn't, she wouldn't have any doubts at all. Still, because she can't speak though, I've learned to notice her hesitation. It's very clear she might as well be screaming. Misha waves her hands in front of her, not wanting to continue the discussion any further, and quickly slips away. Shizune fumes silently, reluctant to let her go, but having no way to keep her here. As Misha's back grows smaller in the distance, I wonder where she's heading off to. Is Shizune wondering the same thing, as she bites her lip in frustration? I want to touch her reassuringly on the shoulder, but I stop myself, not knowing if it's the right thing to do. Not because she looks fragile, vulnerable, or sad. It's the opposite. After a while, her expression belies no emotion at all, only contemplation. Suddenly, she whirls around. Now all this food is going to go to waste. Yeah. That makes me sad. Although it's obvious Shizune is more hurt than mad. The bag dangling from my hand feels like it's filled with lead. Let's go on a date, let's use it then. Where do you want to go? I don't know. The roof. It's my favorite spot. A wry smile appears on her face, disappearing just as quickly. On the roof, I immediately crack open the caviar, ignoring the derisive look from Shizune all the while. I end up putting it down immediately. Where are the toast points? I didn't make any. Like I told you, I bought everything. Not toast points, though? Why is that important? Anyway, they don't just sell toast points. It would be stupid. I bet they do. Maybe in stores for the exceptionally lazy, but not here. Why don't you use a tortilla chip? A tortilla chip is not the same. They're both triangles. Stop being such a princess. I didn't know there was a proper way to eat caviar. This is the first I'm hearing of it. It's not the same thing at all. I can't be decadent like this. And anyway, how could she not know? She lives in a huge mansion. Shizune takes the opportunity to scoop half the tin onto a single chip in the meantime. Hey! I'm sure it doesn't even taste good like that. There's too much food here for two people. Because we can't communicate with each other while we eat, both Misha and I have a lot of time to both Shizune and I have a lot of time to sit in silence and think about the fact that Misha, the person she set this all up for, isn't here. It's annoying that she isn't here. I can't even enjoy my meal like this. I stare at the paper cup next to her. It's still half full of juice. I thought you didn't want all this food to go to waste. I wanted Misha to be here too. That was the whole point. I wasn't able to accomplish what I wanted to do, so it doesn't taste good. You should eat it. Eat more. I want the fried things, though. You keep eating them all, even though you say they don't taste good. Fried things are always delicious. There's always an exception for them. You'll get fat. I think you're being too aggressive. It's like I told you yesterday. I'm only trying to cheer her up. Yeah, but it seems like you're planning a military campaign. I'm only trying to take it seriously. And this is the only way I know how to do it seriously. I feel so powerless. I hate it. I can't even yell at her too, even though I want to. Yelling is for serious occasions, right? Yeah. You should yell at Misha for me. You can tell her that I want her to stop being so down. Even if she feels sad and alone, it's no reason to stay gloomy forever. Why don't you? I already did. Over a game of dice. Over to be exact. I won. 5 times. Only the two of them would take so much pride in winning games of pure chance. Then I tried to talk to her, but it didn't go so well, obviously. Well, so did I. I tried and failed. My goal has always been to do everything better, though. Yeah, your one-upsmanship is really something. But I failed, too. That's why I want your help. I don't understand what I'm supposed to do anymore. For someone like Shizune, who's only ever interacted with the world by locking horns with every obstacle in her path, understanding only goes so far. I want to tell her that she doesn't have to worry, that she is great at cheering people up, because she managed to cheer me up my first week here. In retrospect, I must have looked like some kind of dick being such a sour mood from the moment I came here, even though I don't think I was being unreasonable. Even having months to digest it, finding out that you have a heart defect like I did is hard to deal with. I'd had... Do you see that? I'd had much less time to mull over suddenly being transferred to Yamaku on top of that. Spending the festival with Shizune has really helped me out of a rut. I was happy enough to forget that the entire time it had felt as though she were manipulating me. I understand now that I had allowed myself to be manipulated. Even though I felt like I was at the bottom of the world, I still wanted to have a normal life again, I'm sure, because I enjoy what I have now. I think it must be the same for everyone, including Misha. Everyone wants someone there to pull them up out of their self-pity. It's just that Misha always wanted Shizune to be that person. But because they can't be together, I think Misha feels that she can't accept Shizune's hand. And that frustrates Shizune. But if she could cheer up a stranger like me, then she'll try dying with Misha. Yeah. I mean... Okay, so... Yeah, like, I could build it up in my head, like, yeah, that's understandable. But at the same time, like, keep in mind, again, I am someone that has never experienced any type of romance or very, very hard feelings for another person. But, another real person, by the way. But, like, in a strange way, I really don't get, like, how Misha couldn't be just like, oh, well, I'm gonna get over it. I guess some people just don't. I guess. What was it? There's a not a phrase, but a term for someone that's like completely stuck on one person forever. And it's basically you have some I think it was like some robots in R9K, you know, the 4chan board, the Robot 9000. Basically a one-itis, which is, no, I just want that one. I just want that one, right? And that, I have a feeling that's a problem that Misha has. And that she just wants one person rather than, like, even though it's probably involuntary, right? You know, just wanting that one person. It's like, you have to try your best to get out of that mindset if you have it. Then again, I probably have no idea what I'm talking about, having never even... Like, I've developed crushes, but not genuine attachments. Genuine romantic attachments to other people. So, anyways. I probably don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, honestly. I just think that Misha always... Yeah. Also, that's probably why I didn't like this route to begin with. Like, having... Okay, having actually played most of it, I actually like this route far more than I remembered. Right? And, I don't know, maybe it's because I understand more about the world, but I'm actually enjoying this route far more than I did in the past. Right? honestly, I don't even think, like, Shizune is by far worst girl anymore. But, I don't know, should I do, like, a character ranking or some shit? Anyways. So, yeah. I can see it in her eyes, too. Though she tries to treat it like any other problem in her life, Shizune cannot do that with Misha's depression. Her thought processes are entirely different, in some ways more careful, in some ways more reckless and frenetic. She cares that much more. I end up not saying anything, partially because sitting next to her like this, just the two of us, is pleasant enough in itself that I don't want to interrupt the moment with a question, and partly for a more cowardly reason. I started to think that they weren't. I don't know if her actions that day might not have been an afterthought or even a fluke, just a collection of coincidences. I don't know if that would change anything, but I'm uncomfortable thinking about it. The fence between me trembles slightly, and in turn to see that it's just because Shizune had fallen asleep leaning against it. Considering she was up all night, it's not surprising. Where does all that motivation come from? Not just regards to Misha, I'm cynical, so it's hard for me to just accept that anyone can simply be that strong. My first thought was, maybe it's because she hates herself? It's very plausible. Leaning against her, I feel sad knowing that might be the case, but it could be that we're similar and that we both want to be better people. Okay. Okay, I'm going to... Is this not the scene I'm looking for? Invasion. Okay, so... Yeah, invasion. Okay. Alright. I'm going to stop recording here. Then I'm going to start the next episode. It's been Dean the Autist. Have a nice day.